Welcome back to the Print 3D channel. On this episode, we're going to check out Professor Pint, so stick around. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me here on the Print 3D channel. While browsing around on Thingiverse, I came across Professor Pint, and I thought this guy was pretty cool, so I thought I need to print him out. And using MatterHackers PRO PLA, that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's head over to Thingiverse and download our model, slice it up in Simplify 3D, and get it ready for printing on the gMax1.5XT Plus using MatterHackers PRO PLA. Okay, so here we are at Thingiverse. Here is Professor Pint. Add fun and accessibility to your drinking. And if you look, there's even a little YouTube link that has a little story behind Professor Pint. But I'll put the link down in the description so you can check it out yourself. And I'll put a link down in the description so you can download and print this yourself also. But it looks very cool, and I'm really curious to see how these hands print. Along with this mustache area here, I think we're going to have to add quite a lot of support in Simplify 3D. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and download this thing and head over to Simplify 3D and get it ready for printing on the gMax1.5XT Plus. Alright, so here we are in Simplify 3D, and I went ahead and put in a whole lot of support, and I'll show you why. Now I've saved this as a factory file so I can reopen this anytime I need to. So let's go ahead and close out of this. Let's open up a new file. And let's drag over the Professor Pint STL file. So it looks like we're going to have to turn him. So let's do minus 90 degrees here in the X, and then we'll do center and arrange. And let's take a look at him here real quick. Let's go ahead and add a process setting. And let's turn off the support material just to see what it looks like without having support generated. And let's hit prepare to print. Now from what I can see, these hands and that mustache and probably these glasses and nose are going to need some support material because they probably print in the air, just like I said earlier. So let's take a look. And let's burrow down here. Yep, support is going to be needed for sure on this one. And then the mustache itself, it starts in the air a little bit there. It's a little bit connected, but there's a few spots there. And of course, those glasses are going to need a little help too. So let's go ahead and close out of this. We'll exit the preview mode. And let's open up my factory file again, which has all my settings saved. And we don't want to save this. We'll hit no. And this has all the support using a generate automatic support command. And then I went in and added individual support using the add new support. So let's hit done here. And if we swing around to the bottom, you can see what I did. I just stacked up support underneath each of these pieces because I wanted these to turn out as best as possible. And I made sure there was enough support here in the glasses. So I think this looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and edit our process settings and take a look what I have set up here. Under layer height, we're going to do a 0.2 millimeter layer height with 4 top layers and 3 bottom layers and 3 perimeters. I'm going to run my skirt at 10 millimeters from the object, 4 outlines with just 1 layer. With infill, we're only going to use 7% on this guy because he doesn't really need that much. I think his base is strong enough that we'll be okay. Obviously, we're running support material, and we have it set here. Under temperature, I have 2 different settings here. I want it to really stick, so 206 for that first layer, and then on the third layer, we'll drop down to 204. It's only a few degrees difference, but with the cooling as it is, which I'll show you here, under cooling, I've got a 3-stage cooling going on. For the first layer, we're going to go 0. On the third, we're going to kick it up to 60. And on the fourth, we're going to go to 80. And the reason why I'm doing this is I noticed that when you kick the fan on pretty high, it cools off the hot end very fast. And that could cause some backflow issues. Under speed, we're going to run this at 35 millimeters per second. And I've been running a lot of my prints at this speed, and they actually turn out much better. So let's go ahead and hit OK. We've got our support built in. Let's hit prepare to print. This shouldn't take too long. There is a lot of support material being generated, and it is doing an auto support, which it does on the fly. And it should be ready to go here. It's parsing the last of the code, and there's our preview file. It says it's going to take about 13 hours and 57 minutes, so 14 hours, and 0.43 pounds of filament, or 193 grams. Material cost is only $3.86, so that's pretty nominal. So let's go ahead and hit the play button and see how this prints. And as soon as we get up to the hands, there it is. You can see that support material is super important, and I don't think this is even printable without it. So we'll speed this up a little bit. And it looks like adding the support between those arms is a good idea, because once we come around the top here, as you can see, we're going to be joining these up on a pretty extreme angle, and I just want to make sure there's something there for them. And as we get up here to the mustache and the glasses, as you can see right away, that support material is very important. So it's finishing up, and it's starting to do the glasses and finish up on the top of the head here. And adding that little bit of extra support there, only because it's very thin and it's going to be running pretty quick at 35 millimeters per second. But this should be good. Let's save this off to the disk and head over to the gMax1.5XT Plus, load up some of that MatterHackers PRO PLA and get this printing. Okay, so after 15 hours of printing and freeing it from its support material, we have a good print. This turned out pretty awesome. I'm really happy with this. There's a lot of real detail here on his tie. His glasses turned out pretty great. You know, we did use a lot of support material, so these areas could print around the bottom of his hands and his mustache. And they're a little rough, but a little bit of sanding and Bondo will fix that. But all in all, I think this turned out pretty great. I just need to slide a pint glass in here and fill it up with a tasty beverage. So thank you for joining me here on the Print 3D channel. I hope you found this interesting. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, comment and like on those videos, and join me again here in the very next episode here on the Print 3D channel.